welcome. This is Sahara playing in Pillars of Eternity, the White March, and we just acquired a new party member, so we shall see. Alrighty, north to Canu, which is our keep, and Defiance Bay. We still have area here to
quickly and quietly
to explore. Now have a fox traveling with us. Oops, did I miss something up here from somebody? Yes, I did. I thought I got it all, but I guess I didn't. Oh, this is different. Oh, this is one of the memorials. Benefactor, Lord of Juggler. Yeah, one of the benefactors for the game. Okay. Oh, that's right. You know, you have to actually come out on these places to open up stuff. That's the thing that I don't do. Didn't make any difference. Okay. Alright, there's something here. Game paused. Am I seeing something? We have a troll down here. Okay. So you are going to do Mark Prey. That's a wounding shot. I didn't do the Mark Prey, did I? Vicious aim. Wounding shot. We're all going to just attack it, basically.
Brave thou
How come you're not attacking? Come on. And you too. Oh, and I forgot to do her, Alright, I forgot to do this. Aggressive. Used her rest ability. Defensive, and the animal is going to be defensive.
Ready, Walker.
Alright, where's the wolf at? Why are you doing anything?
Yes.
Okay. We got...
No problem.
Anything here? Like a cave or something that it was living in? Guess not. Another troll. Penetrating shot. Now we're going to attack it this time, right? I don't know if I want you attacking.
Ready, Watcher.
Are you not attacking? Who are you up here? Come on. He got up on it, he got on his feet to die. Okay.
Eh?
Oh, we didn't get up in this area here.
Got it.
Okay. Oh, we do have something up here. It's a forest lurker. Oh, those things are nasty. Attack. 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 Do corrosive siphon. Oh, but it's gonna be moving. Let's not do that yet. I'll do that. No, it's the same thing. And you can do. Make sure I got on the right one. You know, that makes a difference. Wording seal, magical seal that explodes in a burst of electrical energy when an enemy comes into contact with it, inflicting shock damage.
Ready, Watcher.
Why are you guys going over there?
Following your lead.
Okay. So where are we all going? Oh, I didn't see that person there.
No problem.
So how do we get up over there? I just have to go up this way. I thought I was up over this. No, I guess not. Burned lady. There we go. There we are. There's the forest lurker. And attack, everybody, attack. You're gonna do.
Eh?
Now you can do the stuff on it. You can do. I think I need to put him back on his. And you were just sitting back there, weren't you? Mm-hmm.
Yes?
It may be slow, but at least you get in range with it. Anything else?
As
over
you
here?
say. I shall be quiet as a calm sea, which is not very quiet.
No, it's not. Nothing else pops up over here. Okay. Alright, so that area's all done now. Alright, let's get back to where we were at. Oops. Bypass mode.
I'll see what I can find.
Why? It's heard that I'm...
My eyes are peeled.
Okay. Alright, there's wagon ruts in the road. Anything here? Oh yeah, see, it opened up that Stormwell Gorge. I wonder if that's where he is at. Because he was standing along an edge, along a cliff, and this is a cliff looking water, overlooking water. Get down in here. How about this one? Does this take us anywhere? Nope, same thing. How about this one? Oop. So I think I have to be over on this side, the west, for this to highlight. Oh, we got another... You. Did I click on the wolf? Yes, there you go. Attack.
Ready, Watcher.
I'm gonna do that on it. You're gonna do... You can't... That's only once per... Circle of Protection. Don't think we need that. Despondent Blows. Nagging down in the base. I don't think that's gonna work with a... Dire Blessing strengthens allies' resolve in battle. Pillar of Faith calls down a pillar of divine judgment, inflicting crush damage and knockdown on enemies in the area.
I have them!
I hate killing all these trolls, but they're here to be killed, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. No problem.
Oop, where's this one up? Come on. It was here. I just saw it. There it is. It didn't open up anything. Alright. So around this wall... That doesn't take us anywhere either. Oh, we got somebody else. Oh, it's another one of those things. Okay. Need to shoot. You come after it. Sure, there's more than one up here.
Brave thou believe.
That was it? Okay.
Eh? No
Was it a
problem.
troll? All right. So up and over. we get up in here. Okay, I was wondering how. Oh, there was a little road there. Okay. Come on, catch up, girl. Ooh. There's something here. Why would this cart be here? So we got Potion of Legion's Displaced Image. Causes the caster to appear visually displaced, increasing their deflection and reflex for the duration. A billium? Billium is a yellow-orange fruit. Okay. Wine dregs swivel around the bottom of this clay jar. Got a bow. Right of the unarmed wild. Untamed wild, okay. Rites are special type of magical scroll. The ritual contained on the scroll allows the reader to grant a specific skill bonus to all of his or her allies for a long duration. Oh, that's right, I forgot about these. Alright, so I got this area done. But I need to open up the west road, the west way over here. Take that off so maybe she can move faster. Come on. Yeah. Yep, it opened up. Okay, so now I can go here or here. And I'm wondering if this is where he is at. It makes sense to me. He would be here. Or scaling. Oh, this is another one that opened up too. Searing Falls. Wow, that's interesting. So we got two different areas, Searing Falls and here. Let's go to Defiance Bay. That's 4 hours. Let's see where we're doing with our keep. Nothing new to report. It started. Okay. Nothing finished yet. As you near, you feel vibrant. Okay. You see you see lavishly... Alright, come on, I didn't mean to do that. You see a lavishly decorated room, walls hung with tapestries, ornate oil lamps creating a warm, relaxing atmosphere. There are several overstuffed couches covered with silk pillows and an elegant table in the middle of the floor. This woman is seated at the table, sitting across from another woman. They are both well dressed, their style befitting the room they're in. The other woman's hair is blonde, in stark contrast to this woman's black, and is swept up on her head in a dramatic style. The women speak in an easy, free tone, obviously familiar with one another. Though they each seem to be comfortable in the other's company, a strange nervousness surrounds the blonde woman's actions. She occasionally betrays herself with a little giggle or stammer, hitching over an easy word as she speaks. Her demeanor swings from friendly to shy and back again with no warning. The woman leans back a little on her chair, stretching lightly. As she finishes her stretch, she gently lays her hand next to the other woman's hand, letting their fingers subtly intertwine. The second woman stops speaking mid-sentence, inhales sharply, and turns red. She does not, however, move her hand. This woman smiles and moves her hand further over the other holding it. She then... Oh, one moment. There's something weird going on in my apartment. Oh, my kitchen sprang a leak and it in the ceiling. Okay, so, where I was at. She does not, however, move her hand, and the woman smiles and moves her hand further over the other, holding it. She then stands, moving around the table toward the blonde woman, whose face shows conflicting emotions of terror and lust. She giggles and pulls her hand out from under the other and brings it to her mouth, the red of her face deepening. This woman stops, looking down at her, eyes sparkling. She reaches out and pulls something from the blonde's hair, letting it fall around her shoulders. Then she leans over, brushing her lips lightly over the blonde woman's cheek, resting her mouth against her ear. As she whispers, her hand moves lithely down the other woman's body to her waist. The blonde shudders and leans into the hand, eyes closing, cheek pressing against the lips, still whispering at her ear. The woman's hands, I think, yeah, it's not spelled correctly. The woman's hands deftly removes a small bag from the other woman's belt and secretes it under her own cloak at the small of her back. And then she gently kisses the other woman's cheek and stands again, the smile never leaving her mouth. So she stole something from her. Interesting. Okay. Which one was that one? Was that her? Yeah, Estrada. This is Braddock. You see a ship being tossed about in a storm-ravaged sea. The swells rise and fall, carrying the ship with them as if it were a toy. This man stands on deck at the helm of the ship, while water whips around him. The crew moves about frantically, trying to keep the chaos under control. He barks orders at them, pointing where to go and giving each one a task. The men, while still visibly distressed, seem to calm down when they are given their orders. He instructs the helmsman to resume his duties at the wheel and rushes to the aid of a crewman who was struggling with a rope attached to one of the sails. The ship crests a wave, going almost vertical in one direction and then immediately again in the other direction. Several of the crew are thrown from their feet, sliding across the deck as the ship rocks. After the swell passes and the ship returns to a relatively normal orientation, the man quickly scans the deck, counting silently. No one has been lost this time, thankfully. He looks in the direction they're headed, seeing no reprieve from the storm in sight. His jaw squared and his upper lip stiffened. He returns to the helm and takes the wheel again. So I wonder if that's how they die. Did he drown? This takes us back over to here. Oh, now we can go over to Searing Falls. World map, yeah, that's all I'm saying. Okay. Then we have a commoner. We need more reasonable people in Defiance Bay. Don't everyone need more people? Zurakava or something? He's a god person, a god thing. You see a flurry of matted white hair in an incandescent freeze fire staff. Okay. You see a flurry of matted white hair in an iridescent freeze fire staff before you see the man, cold and wild. He chews a wizened apple slowly, discharging spell after spell into the jumble of villagers screeching their way towards him. Cold flame bends from his nose, and apple seeds shoot out the side of his mouth as he saunters forward, ignoring arrows and curses alike. A deliberate twist of his staff and a bullet of force glides through the torso of one assailant and another. A roar blisters his throat as he launches himself into their midst, tearing into their essence with his staff. A pleading hand reaches towards him and quickly falls, ignored. Silence takes hold as the tattered man gathers his prize, a basket of fresh pears. He hums as he eats. So you killed everybody for food? They're all commoners. If you need an inn for the night, choose Goose and Fox has the softest beds. Have you been to the expedition hall yet? You might find your type of work there. Okay, welcome to Defiance Bay.
Welcome.
What can I do for you? Can you tell me about Defiance Bay? Sorry, but I don't have time right now, but it sounds like that Dozens crackpot Rowan is stirring up trouble again. He jerks his head at the gate. He'd be all too happy to give you a rundown of the city, literally flavored with Dozens propaganda, of course. I'm looking for the Temple of Wudka? He scratches his beard. Not sure why you'd want to go there, he shrugs. It's in first fires if you really want to see it. You seem to be on edge. What's the problem? Thousands of them, truth to be told. We've got refugees coming in from all parts and under some misguided notion that things are actually better here, that the legacy somehow passed us over. So they show up with no prospects and little money and just end up making it a worse mess of things. He looks you up and down. No offense. No, goodbye. Oop. He grunts. And good luck to you. Never far from the queen. Mirrorwood has told you that I might find... Okay, so restore, go to the temple. Okay, I've asked around and learned that the temple can be found in a district called First Fires. We defended Defiance Bay back in Duke Hader's day. This is all this is? Yeah, that's all this is. Okay. It's just the bridge, I see. So where do we need to go? We can only go one place in here. We can only go to... So first fire... Oh, I can't make this any bigger. So we have to go to Copperlane. Take it 15 minutes, okay?
Defiance Bay. The city at the heart of the Deerwoods Revolution now seems on the brink of another. Refugees line the streets, homeless and hungry, displaced by Whiteone's legacy, hoping for relief within the city walls, and finding none. Dissidents congregate to protest and to heckle, calling for an end to animancy and the ouster of their duke. The city's militiamen cast fearful looks as they patrol the streets, their hands trembling at the hilts of their weapons. The capital of a country that had not long ago incinerated a god now appears to be a spark away from sharing the deity's fate.
Okay. So in we go. Gotta make sure I don't steal anything. Didn't say I can't.
The city of Defiance, crown jewel of the Deerwood, if you ask the locals, anyway.
Hi, kitty cat. Pioneer, a protester. The expeditions out of Admira's Den are just organized. Stay out of the catacombs. They're more dangerous than usual lately. Can we allow these atrocities to continue unchecked? He's talking to these protesters. No!
Well met, friend.
Rowan's arms are crossed and his mouth is set in a grim frown as he watches the gathered protesters. He looks ready for a fight. He sizes you up. New in town, eh? You picked an interesting time to visit Defiance Bay. All these refugees fleeing the frontier and finding the legacies, no better here. It's the Animancers. Magrin scorch 'em, and they nest in the city like rats. You mark my words, though, us dozens are going to put a stop to it. So you're a dozen, huh? So what are you doing out here? He gestures at the crowd, which buzzes with angry chatter, trying to get folk to see reason. We're in the middle of a crisis, and instead of purging the nefarious forces from our city, the Duke is granting Animancers dangerous liberties. What do you know about animancery? It's the study and the manipulation of essence, which may which any sane person will tell you is the purview of the gods. The Adrianians at least had the sense to outlaw it, which is the only good thing you can say about them. It's not like magic, chanting, or the soul reading those ciphers do. It's been around since ancient Igwithian times, which is why you'll see animancers tinkering with old Inwithian artifacts. Kinda raises a fist to cough discreetly into it. Half-truths all, but he's an enthusiastic performer, I'll give him that. Rowan shakes his head. Trouble is, the animancers got no idea what half these artifacts actually do, not that they'll admit it. Our emphatic friend is correct about one thing, at least. So tell me about the dozens. He taps his chest. We're an organization of interested citizens who want to free Defiance Bay from the dangerous influence of animancers and the tyranny of their aristocrats who support them. We also consider ourselves a militia of sorts, seeing as the Crucible Knights are little more than a flock of preening nobles in training these days. That's usually what happens. Just like the militia, the dozens, except for the training and the discipline and the code of honor. Yep, good point, Eater. His eyes gleam, and we're always looking to expand. The more people see things our way, the better for the state of the country. You have an interest in hearing more. Stop by Ann Mitt's den sometime. The expedition hall. A lot of free thinkers in there. Can set straight all the nonsense the nobles and the animancers want you to believe. Might even be some paid work there for motivated types. I'd like to know more about Defiance Bay. This is the capital of the free Palatinate of the Deerwood. We started out as the capital of an Adarian colony, but we booted the blasted scepter from these lands 150 years ago. These days we're a major port receiving trade and visitors from all over the world, but we, some of us anyway, strive to hold on to the pioneering spirit that earned us our freedom a century and a half ago. The city is divided into 4 districts: Copperlane, First Fires, Onnet's Gift, Blackenberry, and Heritage Hill. He ticks off each on a calloused finger. So tell me about Copperlane. This here is Copperlane. He taps a scuffed boot on the cobblestones. It's primarily a market district, but you've also got the expedition hall directly north of here, where you can join treks into the wild. That's also where my fellow dozens martyrs and I tend to meet up with other concerned citizens. He points to a long domed building west and north of your position, and that's the Hall of Revealed Mysteries. Eerie place, you ask me, but they've got the biggest library in the Deerwood. Kinda laughs. Eerie indeed. It might be less so if more Kent stepped inside. Perhaps we ought to visit Corinne and see just what mysteries are revealed. I agree with you. Tell me about Blackenberry. A noise of disgust rattles in his throat. The nobility that didn't sell back to Edera stayed there. Most of the families there trace their heritage back to the old imperial times. Other than a lot of has-been nobility, you've got Hadrit House, where Lady Webb and her spies operate, and Blackenberry Sanitarium, the main cesspit of animassery in the city. He spits on the cobblestones. I take it you don't like them. Tell me about First Fires. That's where the revolution started, hence the name. These days it's overrun with politicians and panderers, but we'll take it back someday. That's where you'll find the Ducal Palace, the Vanillian Embassy, and Crucible Keep. He shakes his head. The Crucible Knights were the original freedom fighters in Defiance Bay, but now they're just strutting peacocks with their eyes on fancy titles and their heads up their asses. Isn't that true? There's an old temple of Wudik there, too. We keep it real nice for her. He winks. And tell me about Andra's Guilt. Got the name because it was a wetland that was drained back in the imperial days. Now it's a seedy district populated by sailors, common folk, and more than a few thugs. But it's a fun place, too, if you know where to look. He winks and elbows you. Look for a place called the Salty Mast when you're there. Other than that, it's mostly warehouses and abandoned homes. I've had my fair of abandoned warehouses in Dragon Origins. Tell me about Heritage Hill. He shivers. It used to be one of the most prestigious districts in the city. Heroes of the Revolution claimed plots up there next to an ancient Egwithian tower in the city cemetery. Had the best views in Defiance Bay. Attracts richer types these days. What animatory patrons, he spits. He glances at the crowd and lowers his voice. You wouldn't have heard, but something happened over there a couple months ago. The authorities sealed it off, and they're keeping their mouths shut, but mark my words, animassery's to blame. Never mind, let's talk about something else. What do you want to know? Well, farewell. Okay, so I found some things out. Anything of interest, really? Oh, this place is already... I don't have to try to find anything here. That's odd. Let's see, we'll just move around. In case I can find something. Oops, I better have my,
Eh?
better have my stealth on, because who knows what I might see.
Got it.
Joining the Crucible Knights is a high honor. Is it now? Okay. Let me go this way. The calm waters smell faintly of refuse. Well, yeah, I would, because I'm sure that's where all their sewage is going. Okay. This is going to be long. This is going to be a couple episodes going through all this. This is the Goose and Fox. This is where we would spend the night, I take it. I'm going to have a lot of souls here. You see a fire burning slowly on the side of a winding road, unmanned. There seems to be no fuel, no wood or oil for it to consume, yet no hay or twigs. Despite that, it roars, crackles, wails in the wind. It takes you a moment but you begin to notice a figure in the flames. Its shaking hands cradle a young face, molten red tears marring skin the color of coal. The boy cowers, flame coating him as he holds his knees to his chest. In the distance, a man approaches faceless. He extends a hand to the frightened child, who considers it warily before taking it. The flames die down, leaving his limbs and settling on his head like obedient pets. All tears dried, they walk together, fire and death, hand in hand. Well, okay, because he's a god-like. Okay, he's a god, so he does fire. Okay. You see a wizard playing illusions in a town square, fingers plucking color and sound from the air and weaving scenes of beauty and fright. A crowd of onlookers gasps and cheers, enthralled with the display. All but one boy, standing off to the side, mouth agape. Green eyes are pale with wonder. Vision after vision playing out before him, and something inside the boy clicks. Without warning, he bolts, disappearing into the crowd, pushing and shoving desperately. The mage finishes his show soon after, a giant silver dragon descending through the cloud and to 1,000 stars exploding into nothingness. Collecting coins, he walks around the clapping crowd, bowing and nodding at each as he passes, until a small sack is dropped into his hands. The boy stands for a moment before him, small and still, and begs the wizard to apprentice him. He glances at the hefty bag, weighing it, and the boy carefully. Finally, he nods and flicks gently at the bag, which disappears. The boy grins. How'd you do that? He asks, but the illusionist merely winks. Okay. You see a hand curled and bruised, staked to the floor with a bent mental spike. Well, that would hurt. Blood covers the floor and drips from the furnishings and walls. The man looks up from the body he is crouched over to survey the carnage he caused to the family in whose house he now skulks. He did all that. 4 bodies total, a woman, 2 young men, and a girl. He lie blindfolded on the ground. Their legs are bound, and both hands are attached to the floor with spikes. He has lifted the woman's blindfold and is currently doing something to her eyes. He pulls back a small blade and covers the eyes again, gently parting the blindfold. He stands and looks around, seemingly satisfied with his handiwork. Suddenly, his breath quickens, hearing someone approach the door to the room. He bounces in place, excitement almost overwhelming him, then rushes to the back of the room, concealing himself in the shadows. From his vantage, he sees the bodies are perfectly arranged, each one facing the door, welcoming the man of the house back, arms outstretched as if in embrace. The door opens as he slowly pulls another spike from his belt, the tip of his tongue playing across his teeth in anticipation. Oh, you are a nasty person. Oh my goodness. Sick individual.
Time to see and not be seen.
Commoner, bodyguard, noble. You hear that guy? Mad, I tell you. Nothing loosens tongues like a good pint, that's for darn sure. Are you here for some words of wisdom too? No, I don't think so. A dragon is outlined in charcoal pencil. The thick, jagged lines and the faint smell of sulfur suggest that the artist completed the sketch in a hurry. Fifth dragon, White March. What's in here? Looks like the warehouse. Or their back door, or whatever. That's stealing. But there's nobody here, right? No, I'm not gonna steal. I don't need to steal. That's the whole thing. Even though
This
I'm a
won't stop
rogue.
me for long.
There, done.
Even though I'm a rogue. Ooh, I might take that though. Bartender's ring. Damage against spirit. Damage against vessel. 5+. Ooh. Alright. Let me save first. As long as they don't see you, I think you're fine in stealing. I don't think you have a ring, do you? You do have one ring. Okay. I'll give that to you.
Eh?
Brad something or another. Is this where the bedrooms are at? Or the rooms? That's what it looks like it is. You see a mud-soaked clearing, rain falling to the ground in large drops. This man is lying on his back in the muck, his hands holding open the maw of an enormous stegler that stands over him, his front paws on his chest. The heavy rain falls over them, playing counterpoint to the grunts made by the opponents. Dead cellgate litter the ground around them, and the man's body shows signs of a difficult battle. His clothing is torn, hanging in scraps in some places. Bites and scratches cover his arms and legs. A huge gash cuts across his forehead, blood and water mixing as they run down his face and drip into the mud. It takes all the man's effort to keep the beast's jaws from clamping down. The man looks around wildly until his gaze finally lands on a large axe lying barely within arm's reach behind his head, the rain slowly covering it with grime and muddy water. He looks at the Stegler and then back at his axe, grim determination on his face. His arms are shaking, and it seems he will not be able to hold the beast back for much longer. He takes a deep breath and wraps his right hand around the Stegler's bottom jaw, then lets go with his left hand, bringing the top of his head. The Stegler's mouth snaps shut on his right hand as his left shoots out above his head and grabs the handle of his axe. The Stegler grinds his teeth and pulls back, trying to free itself from his grip, blood dripping from its mouth onto its face. With a grunt that quickly becomes a bellow of pain, the man pulls his right hand down, bringing the beast's head closer to him, swinging the axe around as he does. The blade of the weapon pierces the Stegler's neck, and it yelps, its mouth popping open as it tries to step backward off of the man. Before his mangled hand can lose its grip, the man pulls and twists as hard as he can, trying to get the beast on the ground, using the Stegler's resistance to pull himself into a sitting position. He brings the axe down on its neck again, and one final time as his head and his hand simultaneously come free. The head flies from his grip as he thrusts his hand behind his back to brace himself as he falls. As his hand hits the ground and his full weight lands on it, a second bellow of pain erupts from his mouth. Breathing heavily, he brings his now mangled hand up to assess the damage. The little finger is gone, lost somewhere in the mud. The two fingers next to it are twisted, broken, and torn, barely attached to his hand by small bits of flesh. He sighs, grabbing both dangling fingers with his left hand. He grits his teeth and pulls. Oh my God, he pulled his fingers off. Oh, he had to. I mean, man, you had a nasty life there, guy. Maybe you died. You bled to death. Wow. I don't think we can go anywhere else here. There's a merchant and an actor. Here to say it, but hate to say, but the legacy's been good for business. The merchant, really? You've come to talk some sense into this fellow, I hope. Have I? Well, there's something to look at here. A dwarf and an Orland debate philosophy on the other side of the curtain. Okay, so these are pleasure rooms. Karina, a woman sits by herself, spinning something on the table in front of her and watching it with furious intensity. It's about the size of a coin, and it wobbles over a crack in the wood with a metallic rattle. She snatches it up with one hand and slams a half-empty cup down on the table with the other. Thus, this is not a good time. This is not a good time, she says. Okay. What are you doing here? She takes a long drink from her glass, just trying to calm down and trying to talk myself out of something foolish. Something foolish? She says nothing for a few moments, as if hoping you'll leave. At last, Karina looks up at you, and lamplight falls onto her face. Across her face, a purpling bruise is blossoming along her cheekbone. There's something I need to get to my fiancé, Bertus, only he doesn't seem to go anywhere without his new friends, and they're not exactly pleasant company. And who hit you? She shakes her head. I know how this looks, but you don't understand. It's not like Prentice. It's those new friends of his. They brought out the worst in him. Have they? Have they now? So tell me about these new friends. They come into our house with their dead eyes and their black teeth. I'm not a fool. I know what it means. Prentice makes me leave when they show up, but it's obvious what they come to do. Last time they came, I told them to get out. Let them have their fun somewhere in the what is that, girth or gift? In the gift. Okay, it is gift. But not under my roof. She scowls and then winces, her fingertips gently probing her bruise. Sever changes you, I guess. Oh, it's a drug. The Prentice I knew wouldn't have squashed a spider. I never thought he'd... She trails off, still feeling the swollen, discolored flesh. A sever makes people calm and listless. I shouldn't make them violent. I thought stuff just made people lay around not doing much. Yeah, I thought surf just made people lay around not doing much. Karina shrugs. I don't really know. Seemed much better than believing he's always been this way. Maybe I could go talk to him? Her hand rests on the table and she clenches it into a white-knuckled fist. There's nothing more to say to him. We're finished. I just want to give this back to him and have a clean break. She opens her hand and your ring clatters onto the table. Honest. It was his grandmother's. Even after this, I don't have the heart to sell it off. But if I go back there myself, I know what'll happen. I'll lose my temper and I'll probably wind up with another one of these. She points to her bruise. But I've heard you're trustworthy. If you give this back to him, he'll know we're done. Well, how do you know that I'm trustworthy? Have people been talking about me? I'll take this ring to Pernus then. She looks at you and nods. The house is just north of here. Just please don't hurt him. As furious as I am, I don't want that on my conscience. Okay, so I have a side quest. His old self. Something unusual is happening in the house in Copperlane. A man named Pernus is acting strangely. Yeah, it's not from the drugs, lady. It's not from the drugs. We have a mercenary here. Can we talk to you? He's drunk. It's a good place to unwind between jobs. Sometimes I even find new ones. Oh, I just found one. I just found one. Did we talk to these people? Yeah, we did. Okay, so we need to talk to this one. He is a lupus. They're all drinking from these huge jugs. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and close down this episode, and when we come back, we'll finish talking to these people here in the inn. Find out what's going on. If you're enjoying, click like, leave a comment, subscribe, and thank you so much for watching. Sahara out.